host of the Gridiron.
All right, baby. Welcome to the Gridiron. If you give this video a thumbs up or maybe share this video, that would be absolutely freaking awesome. If you subscribe to my channel, thank you. If not, please go down below, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon. That way, next time I go live, or if I put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. But if you are subscribed, thank you. If you want to help support my channel, it would mean so much to me. In the description box below, very top link in the description box takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. Each one has their own little perks to them. So once again, if you want to help support my channel, that would mean so much to me. And I thank you in advance. Thank you. And also, the farther down in the description box is a link that takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants of Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. We have over 9,300 members in the group. It's doing simply marvelous, might I add. Basically, if I'm alive and breathing, and if I have internet access, I am putting stuff in this group darn near 365. It's called the New York Giants of Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. Please join it. You will not be dissatisfied. I promise. All right. Well, injuries. So I guess they the thing was with Kayvon was it was like, could it be, after he had the operation, could he come back in 2 weeks or 3? If yeah, or if there was a chance, it's like, no IR for you, buddy. But it just seems, I guess, it is what it is. They expect him to be out at least, at least 4 games. Now, interesting because I'm an idiot and I forgot. Let's see here. New York Giants schedule. Now, I know they're because their bye is in here, right? Let's see what we got. Okay, they got the Bengals, then they got the Eagles. Okay, all right. So they got 5 games. They got the Bengals, then they got the Eagles, the Steelers, then the Commanders, then the Panthers, then they got the bye week. So we'll have to wait. We'll have to wait and see. Now the big thing is here is can Aziz. Aziz can be very, very good, obviously, at the, rushing the passer. Hopefully he can stay healthy. That's one of his huge problems, obviously. But the thing is that, he's not the greatest, shall we say, at, Kayvon's a little bit better at run defense, I think, especially maybe setting the edge. I know there were times, I think Kayvon's gotten better at this. It just comes with experience. Obviously, being in the league for this is 3rd season now. There was times like early on, like this first year or so, there would be like a run or look like a run going the other way, and Kayvon would just go crashing down the line, trying to make the tap, whatever, and the run would come around the other way, and he's like down the line of scrimmage, and it's like, who's setting the edge? Where's he? So he's done that, but he definitely seems like he's gotten better. His numbers, obviously, we're thinking we got Sexy Dexy, right? We got Brian Burns. Kayvon had 11.5 sacks last year. Kayvon should have at least 50 sacks this year, right? Because he got Burns, so the numbers haven't been quite that gaudy sack-wise. But, he's learning a new system. And we're going to go over a couple stats here that the Giants could buy. I mean, even as it's like, why doesn't Burn have 15 sacks already? Why doesn't Kayvon have 30? Right? But we're going to go over stats so far. It's only been 5 games, right? We're going to go over a stat that's pretty impressive. I don't know if the Giants are going to beat it or come close to tying it or whatever. What's up, buddy? Buddy Randy's here. But the Giants have a chance, maybe not so much, I guess, making history if we look at these stats here, but tying, getting up there in the upper echelon, especially on the defense. So this most of the video here is going to have a little defensive flavor to it, except for the last portion of our program. We have somebody who's missing an action there. He's on the side of a milk cart. We're kind of out looking for him, but we'll get to that toward the end there. But the Giants, I guess that the hammer. So we got, of course, we got the news. No Malik, no motor, no hammer, no Kayvon. So we got, let's see here. Let's see, limited. No, hold on. This is it. There we go. Nope. This is it. So the Giants obviously had to sign a punter. Matt Haack, I'm going to say, with the hammer injured. So, Haack has been around. He hasn't done too bad. He's been around since 2017. Came in with Miami. He spent, the first 4 years with Miami, then 1 year with Buffalo, 2021, right? So Shane and Dable were there, so they were familiar. So Buffalo. Okay. Yeah, all right. So they're familiar with all 17 games he played in. He had 52 punts, averaged 42.9 yards per punt, 37.6 net yards per punt with Buffalo in 2021. He had 7 touchbacks, his long was 63. Now, sometimes you also got to, realize too, is that, you only look at it's only 42.9, right? But sometimes you also got to look at like the offense that he's on. Is he on a successful offense? Haack, when he was with Buffalo in 2021. Or was it like, 2021, was it the Joe Judge Giants offense? Because usually, if you're pinned down, the Giants, you get the ball at their own 20, 1, 2, 3 punt, and the object is just boom the baby as far as you possibly can. But with Buffalo, chances are with Allen there, and that's when Stephon Diggs was, I think was there. That was one of the times he was kind of happy, the happy Stephon Diggs, right? Because he just got to Buffalo. So, chances are they were going to move the ball at least a little bit, and then maybe they punted. But, he's been around a while. Last year with Cleveland, he did pretty good, although he did not. Now, we're talking about Matt Haack here. Of course, he only played just the one game with Cleveland last year. Punted 3 times, averaged 51.7. But the year before that, in 2022 with Indianapolis, he played in all 17 games, 44.8. 39.6 net. We're not talking Ray Guy here. We're not talking Hall of Fame or nothing, but an adequate punter, yeah. I'm sure he'll do a decent job. The thing is, you don't know with the hammer, right, how severe that hamstring is. The other thing that's going to be interesting, too, I'm sure Haack has probably, handled the snaps from center before, but, now you got a new kicker and you got a new punter in there. So you have a new, combination going on back there. So they certainly have to work on that. But so with the hammer out for at least this week anyway, right? We need a punter. So, but obviously Malik with the concussion, let's hope that we can get him back, because we're certainly going to need him against Pittsburgh. Good. And the Eagles, really, really going to want him back for the Eagles. All hands on deck for the Eagles, right? But the thing is with Pittsburgh is because I said before, my son and I, we were at the Pittsburgh-Dallas game. He's a Cowboy fan. Me and my son, we little father-son bonding, right? So every year we go to a Cowboy game. I got no skin in the game, Every year we go, it's always a close game with the Cowboys. Every year. This year they pulled it out in the last 20 seconds. So it was a really exciting game. But going to the game in Pittsburgh, their offense is really not good. They have a very good defense, though. So when the Giants play Pittsburgh, I believe it's in Pittsburgh, the Giants are going to need to be able to move the ball. So hopefully we get Malik back by then. You know, I mean, if Pittsburgh, they'll still score some points against us. But, I mean, I have a hard time believing, as long as we're relatively healthy, I have a hard time believing Pittsburgh is just going to walk up and down the field on our defense. I mean, they just Justin Fields, their weapons are just, it's just like Najee Harris is okay, but I mean, their running game is not super spectacular. I mean, it's just like, it's kind of like, I was just looking, I was like, man, they like suck. I mean, it's just really not good. But, hopefully, Malik will be back next week, because you figure if we can get him back next week, that's like 2.5 weeks, because he got injured on a Thursday, right? 10 days went by. He missed a game. Now it's another 7 days. Well, it'll be another 7 days. So I mean, it'll be a couple weeks. So hopefully next weekend he'll be ready to go. So keep your fingers crossed. But we got some Kayvon, Sink Motor. He's out with his groin. Let's see. Giants downgrade 3 players to out ahead of the Week 5 game versus the Bengals. The Giants injury report took a downward turn Saturday as 3 players who were listed as questionable on Friday were downgraded to out. Punter, the Hammer, Jamie Gillan, with his hamstring, Motor Singletary with a groin, and wide receiver Bryce Ford Wheaton with a shoulder will not play in Sunday night's game against the Bengals. Now, the thing is with Bryce Ford Wheaton, it's not so much, his offensive, being the offensive threat, but it's him on special teams. Now, hopefully he's just a little sore or whatever. And hopefully, give him a week off, and hopefully he'll be okay, But, hopefully Malik's the big one. But we did lose. Unfortunately, we did lose quite a few guys. The one nice thing is that you look at it is that I'm sure Turbo is going to get elevated from the practice squad once again. We got Eric. I like to fumble the ball away and give it to the other team, Gray, and we got Tracy. So now to be Tracy's right going up against it, a team that's not super spectacular. So hopefully Tracy can flourish again. They're very interested to see what he does. Giants got to get off. I mean, their Sunday night. I mean, it's just horrible. Absolutely, the nighttime games for the Giants are just absolutely horrible. It's just like, oh my God, we got to lose another game at nighttime. It's where are we at here? Let's see. So we got wide receiver Isaiah Hodgins and running back Dante Turbo Miller were elevated from the practice squad for the second consecutive week to replace Nabers and Singletary. Giants also signed punter Matt Haack on Saturday for the Scottish Hammer, whose hamstring issue is to his kicking leg. So, I mean that could be, ain't being Nancy negativity here, but if it's to his kick, I mean that could almost be it all, I mean, if he's got a problem with his kicking leg, the problem is that you when you're punting, your kicking leg is just like I'll kind of ease into it. No, I mean if you got to punt, you got to punt the frickin', I mean, so that could be a problem all season long with that. So we'll have to wait and see. I don't know what it is with our kickers, but can't keep these guys healthy. So with Singletary sideline again, Tyrone Tracy will get the start. Very anxious to see the guy, right? Now, once again, hopefully he'll have a decent game, right? Although, regardless, you definitely know that the Bengals are going to be fired up. 1-4, fighting for their playoff lives. They go 1-5. You can almost. I mean, that would leave 11 games left. They got to go almost 9-2. The final 11 games. That would be a heck of a run to go on. You know what I mean? So I don't know if that's humanly possible, for them anyway. So I mean, this is a, I know they had also had a, I think it was a defensive players only meeting because their defense has not been super spectacular either. It's they had a hard time stopping the Ravens. Period. Last Sunday, I remember watching that game. We were we always have the Sunday ticket at my house, so you can see any game you want. But we got to Pittsburgh around 12 o'clock. We ate because I was starving. Got back to the hotel room, and there was 2 games on, but you got to switch back and forth for one. So we basically kept the rain. It was a good game, a very exciting game, back and forth. But that was the game we watched. But I mean, the Bengals just had a hard time. I mean, it's understandable. Lamar Jackson, Superman. The guy can do a lot of things, so it's understandable sometimes when you have a hard time stopping a guy. But their defense just really did not look very good. So they did have a defensive player only meeting this week. So have to see. I mean, they're going to come out. They're going to give it their all. Now, is it going to be good enough? Who knows? Excuse me, guys. Hold on. I went to Pittsburgh and I came back and I had a cold. The only thing I brought back from Pittsburgh was a cold. I apologize. But I'm going to say their defense is not very good at all. So the Giants are going to have to take advantage of that. And the Giants really going to have to take advantage of that because, you got to give the Bengals credit where credit's due. I mean, their passing attack is very, very good. They have a couple, hard-nosed runners, but they're, with Burrow back there, with Higgins and Chase, they're and Savage. I think he drops the ball sometimes a bit too much, but they got some guys that can take it to the house. So that very passing attack is very, very good. They're going to put up some points, and the Giants are going to have to. Giants can't be set on for field goals. We've had some problems. We've had some issues scoring in the red zone. Right? We gotta. We can't try to kick 3 field goals for every 1 touchdown the Bengals score. Can't be doing that. So we're gonna have to step it up. But so the Giants on an injury report, a little lengthy here. But I mean, as far as it looks like Davidson, Summers, Adoree Jackson, Jude Phillips, Brian Burns, Greg Van Roten, guys are Runyon Jr., guys that are on the injury report, but looks like they will be participating in the game. But Kayvon went on IR. Singletary for another game is out. Malik for another game is out. Bryce Ford Wheaton, he'll be out. Although he did look pretty good returning that blocked field goal for a touchdown. Got to give him some credit there. And then Gillan. So hopefully, with any luck, Bryce Ford Wheaton, Motor Singletary, and Malik Nabers, hopefully we'll get those guys back next week. Hopefully we can come out of this game not too heavily banged up. The thing would be, obviously, is that we do know that Kayvon's going to be out for a little while. That he's got to be out for at least 4 games, right? And you don't know about the hammer, how long he's going to be out for, because that the hamstring, right? I mean, that's the thing is with those, it's not like a broken bone. Okay, you take you put a cast on it, 6 weeks, you're probably pretty much good to go, right? Somewhere 6 to 8 weeks, right? I mean, a hamstring it could be like, oh yeah, I feel pretty good, isn't that bad? You go to punt the ball one time, up, there it goes, so you have to wait and see. But this guy Haack, he's got some experience. Shane and Dable have familiarity with him because he's from Buffalo. Had the 1 year in Buffalo. He did okay. I mean, there's a ton of punters out there. So once again, I think the familiarity with Shane and Dable had with Haack for that one season, I think, because that was their last season in Buffalo. It was 2021. That's when Haack was there. So So we'll have to wait and see. So Giants are a little banged up, but yeah, and again, so is every other team. I know the Bengals, they got quite a few guys on their report too. I mean, they put Burrow, they had on there with a right wrist, Chase Brown with a quadricep, Mike Hilton, a cornerback, DJ Ivy with a cornerback, Gesicki, he had a hamstring, Chris Jenkins, a defensive tackle with a thumb, Sheldon Rankins with a hamstring, Amarius Mims, their offensive tackle. I think he has a calf and an ankle, I think it is. So he'll be playing, but he'll be a little gimpy. So Zach Moss, their running back, Joseph Asai, defensive end of the shoulder. So they got guys too. So we'll just have to wait and see. But once again, it's football. Everybody's banged up. Right? It is what it is.